Hello, Promo Cares Radio. It's Carrie here hosting, and I have the honor of welcoming a very old friend, dear friend of mine in the industry, Ronnie Wright from the book company. Yay!
Yay!
Ronnie. Ronnie and I volunteered
Hi,
years ago on
Carrie.
the board, and just
The rack board.
huge fan of her. She's awesome. So
Well, right back at you.
yay! So I have to ask the first question that I always ask of our Promo Cares guests. So you check into the hotel, not hotel, into the airport, which we haven't been doing in some time. I don't even know what all these words are because we haven't traveled. And you get through security and you are not quite to the point where you're going to get to your gate. What is your process in between that time frame?
Oh my goodness, what a crazy question. I'm actually flying tomorrow, so
Yay! Yeah.
crazy times. And this is
Yeah.
actually the second time post-COVID season that I've
Okay.
ventured to the airport. I have a very clear routine prior to even getting to the airport that I followed, and I have followed for years because I didn't want to get sick
Yeah.
ever. And with people traveling during the middle of winter and all of that. So I have a very strict protocol. But when I get to the airport and I get through security, I make sure that I have everything. My shoes are tied and my computer's put away if they've asked me to put it away, and all my things are checked. And a couple things. I'll try to get a cup of coffee maybe,
Mm-hmm.
fill up my water bottle.
Mm-hmm.
I hit the restroom because I'd rather go before I get on the
Yes.
plane. I have I know this is going to sound really crazy, but I put Vaseline inside my nose
Oh, that's
before I
good.
travel because I think it helps to keep it moist and
Nothing
trap
draws
whatever
on.
germs there are. And that was before wearing a mask. So I wear a mask on the plane. I try really hard to remind myself not to touch my face
Uh-huh.
when I'm traveling. So I'll take out a wipe and I'll clean my tray because I work, I read. I always do work and read on a plane.
Yeah.
I used to fall asleep, but not anymore. I'm a little more, I guess. I don't like to fly.
Yeah.
I'm nervous.
Yeah.
That's a little secret. I'm like nervous. I don't like
Did you
turbulence or
fly a
anything
lot?
like that.
Like before all of it, did you fly a lot?
I did. I used to fly and sometimes 2, 3 times a month. And I always, before I step onto that little plane, I always go, okay, this is horrible. Are there little babies on the plane? Because
Yeah.
certainly we're not going to crash if there's babies on the plane.
Right.
So that's my little routine.
Love
And then
that.
I'm fine. Like once
Yeah.
I get started and we're
Right.
fine. But I don't like turbulence or anything like
Yeah,
that.
I'm
So
not that
a
either.
little bit about me.
I don't know many people who like it. It's always a funny question because it's like people never think about it, but everyone has something they do. Like, well, I
Oh
always
yeah.
try to get this tea, and then the Hirsch company they always go get USA Today, and I'm like, they still sell newspapers? I didn't even know that. Like, it's so funny how like we have these things, and it's like I always used to chew gum. Like I always needed to have gum, so I would stop in the bookstore and grab some gum, and it's like it's just funny. It's a fun
Oh,
question. So
that's so funny.
thanks for answering that. So, on a personal level, when it comes to promo cares, we are all about shining a spotlight on go givers. And so, wanted to get a little background on you and your life and how this all came to fruition for you in this mentality of giving back.
Yeah, it just seems to be a part of me. I just kind of grew up that way, and in looking back, I grew up with very little, and um, I guess if I gave and I shared, I would assume other people would share with me. So, yeah, so I would overgive, and it always felt really good to give. Like I always liked the feeling that the how they people would respond to the
Right.
receiving of it. I don't receive real well. I'm much better at giving.
Yeah.
So yeah, so looking back, I did all sorts of things. I always would volunteer to clean the blackboard,
Yeah.
and not that I wanted to be the teacher's pet, but I just, if someone says, will somebody, my
Yeah.
hands up, I'll volunteer. So always did that. Right. I know. So as I got older and I started realizing it was a thing,
Hmm.
um, I ran a dance studio for many years, and it's very expensive for kids to have point shoes and costumes and all of that. So we ran a 501c3 for many, many years, helping the kids in our in our area, in our neighborhood, that couldn't afford, to take ballet lessons
Mhm.
and couldn't afford the costumes and the shoes. So we would support them. We had all sorts of scholarship programs. And some of our students are still dancing, so professionally, which is kind of cool. And I know you and I share a love
Yeah.
of dance,
Yeah.
dance there. And when I was in college, I volunteered with special children, and it was one of the most rewarding things that I did, on campus. I was politically involved on campus. Again, yeah, I'll volunteer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. I just always thought that that's what you do, and it's
Yeah.
interesting because I look at my daughter, and my daughter just lives that same lifestyle as I do, always
Right.
volunteering and doing that. And so when I got in this industry, um, someone had approached me about when I was part of the YESA group. Someone
Mhm.
said, "You're new. Come with us." So I followed,
Yeah.
and they asked us to stand in the back of the room and hand out the CU forms. And I thought, oh, I'm meeting people. Like,
Mhm.
I don't have to walk up to strangers. They're coming to me. I might as
Right.
well, talk to them. And I saw that it was a great way to network and meet people.
Mhm.
And so I'm like, okay, I started looking around. I'm like, who are the people that I want to be around? And I saw what they were volunteering and what they were doing. And I found that I loved all of that. So I served on the PPEF board 2 times, once as chair. I even went on a crazy parasailing
Yeah.
adventure because I'm terrified of heights
She did
to
that
raise
for our
money.
industry people. She did that for our
I
industry.
did. I did.
Legit
I
fear
said
fight.
I'd overcome my fear, which I didn't overcome my fear, but I did it.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
wouldn't do it again if I didn't have to,
Yeah.
but I did it. So that was really enjoyable, and I've served on a variety of committees, and I've done workshops, and I've teach yoga online, and when I travel, I don't, because I love it. So
Mhm.
selfishly, I like to share, and I like to give, and
Yeah.
and I love when other people. I love watching what other people do and how they do. And I'm excited, to work for a company that believes in giving back as
Right.
well. So, I feel very fortunate.
All work
And
together for the good.
yeah, and I also learned that giving doesn't have to necessarily be monetary. It
Right.
could be your time, your talent, just even a
Mhm.
support, a creating of a website or sending
Right.
an email, or just so many different ways to give,
Yeah.
not just monetarily.
Right. That's right. Well, you mentioned the book company, so let's talk a little bit about the book company so people know a
Mhm.
little bit about them. So, number of employees, years in the industry, that kind of stuff.
So we have about 15 employees. We're a small company, we're boutique by design. However, we have access to like millions and millions of books and beautiful journals and things like
Mhm.
that. And then, of course, we love custom. So that's always really cool to do. I've been in the industry for 16 years. Well, 16 years with the book company.
Mhm.
And I think 25, gosh, I probably should have looked that up, how many years the company's been in business. Maybe 28,
Okay.
28 years or so.
A long time.
So a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And when I started, they were the coffee table book company. So we changed the name to the book company.
Hmm.
And we've been growing. It was interesting. They had only been in our space a short period of time before I stepped in, and nobody knew
Yeah.
what to do.
Right.
So it was sort of like, oh, good, I get to like create this whole fun thing. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's been remarkable. It's been a wonderful career and a wonderful opportunity to work for such a dynamic team. And most of the employees that were there when I started are still there.
Right.
People don't leave. They love working at the book company with Doug Greenhut, who's our company president and
Yeah.
visionary.
Yeah. And that's a big deal. Like the culture is a very workplace happiness is a very, very important thing. And it shines through when you hear that people are there from the beginning of their careers and
Yeah,
very cool.
long time. Yeah.
You guys are part of a program called American Forest. So we want to hear a little bit about that right now.
Yeah, and so that kind of was spearheaded by, Missy Kilpatrick lives in California,
Love her.
and with
Hi.
all the fires and all of that.
Yeah.
And, as a company, we always gave, but we didn't necessarily make it public.
Hmm.
So, you know, we support a variety of different things, all of us personally and professionally. But we decided with the industry turning towards a more caring and giving, um, uh, I don't know, feel, yeah,
Movement.
um, and wanting to communicate that to end buyers, we said, you know, let's go ahead and put that out there. So thanks to Missy's help, we donate up uh, no less than $10,000 a year, more if we're more profitable,
Hmm.
to American Forest, and the whole idea is to plant trees here in the United States,
Very nice.
which is very cool. I mean, we love, you know, people ask us like for sustainability and things like that, and to me, a book or a journal isn't something that would easily get tossed aside.
Right.
So to me, it's, you know, it's something that I would keep for a very long time, or forever, or pass it down, or share it. But but we know we have trees to
Right.
thank for the
Absolutely.
materials. So got to plant those beautiful trees so we have the ability to keep our planet, you know, healthy.
Right. I love that. Yay, the book company. So
Very
I
cool.
didn't know
I
that. I
know.
didn't know that
Thanks.
program was in place. That's awesome. All right. Well, that's a little bit about the book company and Ronnie, and we love her so much. Thank you for tuning in. Anything else we need to share with everyone?
Oh my gosh. Well, I just think what you guys are doing is amazing. Wonderful resource for distributors and suppliers alike to know that the industry cares,
Mhm.
and to give us the ability to be able to share how much, you know, we care as well.
Right.
So thank you, Carrie.
No problem. Thanks to that whole board. They're awesome peeps. Thanks for being here today, Ronnie.
My pleasure.